Everyone looks at certain everyday details and thinks, that's just design, but it's not. Many of these things exist because something went wrong in the past. Some because people got hurt, others because accidents happened. And what's most interesting is this, most of them do the exact opposite of what we always assumed. So today, you're going to discover 8 common things that hide incredible secrets. That hole in the pen cap wasn't created for design, not for aesthetics either. It exists for one very specific reason, safety. For a long time, children and even adults had the habit of chewing on pen caps. The problem started when the cap slipped into the throat. Its shape was perfect for blocking airflow. Before the hole existed, the cap worked like a cork. Air simply couldn't pass through. The small hole doesn't prevent choking, but it allows a minimal amount of air to pass until someone can help. That detail became an international safety standard, and today it's required by regulation on pens of this type. Another thing that became an international standard is the computer keyboard. You've been using your keyboard for years, probably every single day, but there's a hidden detail on it you never realized had a purpose. That small bump on the F and J keys, a tiny raised line no other key has, isn't a manufacturing defect. If your keyboard follows the global standard, those 2 bumps are there. And to understand why, we need to go back in time. The keyboard we use today was inherited from old typewriters. Back then, the letters were arranged in a strange way to prevent metal bars from jamming when someone typed too fast. On those machines, the keys were deep, designed to hug the tips of your fingers. But when we moved to modern computers, the keys became flat, and that created a new problem. How do you type fast without looking at the keyboard if you can't feel where your fingers are? That's when the idea came in. The goal wasn't just to add a small bump to the key, but to create muscle memory, allowing your body to perform the movement automatically. And it worked so well that they became a universal standard. And did you know traffic lights also have a reason behind their colors? Many people think traffic light colors are random, but they're not. Red was chosen because it has the longest wavelength among visible colors. That makes it easier to see from far away, even in fog, rain, or low light, making it perfect to signal danger and an immediate stop. Yellow works as a warning. It grabs attention quickly and prepares the brain for change, acting like a mental alert before action. Green was chosen because it's one of the most comfortable colors for human eyes. It causes less visual fatigue and conveys a sense of safety, making it ideal to indicate that the way is clear. Now, leaving the road and heading to the sky, the shape of airplane windows isn't random either. In the early days of commercial aviation, airplane windows were square. It seemed logical and much easier to manufacture. The problem only appeared over time. Every time the plane climbed, the cabin was pressurized. When it descended, the pressure decreased. This cycle happened thousands of times. At the corners of square windows, stress would build up. Over time, microscopic cracks formed, invisible to the naked eye, until in some cases, the aircraft literally broke apart mid-flight. After those accidents, it became clear the shape had to change. Round windows distribute pressure evenly and prevent stress from concentrating in one spot. That's why to this day, no modern commercial airplane uses square windows. If you didn't know this, leave a like and subscribe for more curious facts. Like this one, why do jeans have that tiny pocket no one uses? That small pocket was created in 1873 by Levi Strauss to store pocket watches. At the time, watches were expensive, fragile, and widely used by workers. Keeping them loose in a large pocket increased the risk of breaking, falling, or being stolen. The smaller pocket kept the watch secure, protected, and always in the same position, making it easy to grab without even looking. Over time, pocket watches went out of fashion, but the pocket remained sewn in out of tradition. Today, almost no one knows what it's for. Yet every pair of jeans still carries a detail designed to protect something we no longer use. Another thing most people don't know the purpose of are the brushes on escalators. Many people think those bristles on the sides of escalators are there to clean your shoes. But that's not their purpose. Before they existed, escalators were notorious for catching shoelaces, sandal straps, clothing, bracelets, and even necklaces. That happened because there was a small gap between the step and the side panel. When something got stuck there, it could be pulled into the mechanism. The brushes were created to solve that problem. They push your feet toward the center of the step and make it harder for objects or small curious hands to get close to the dangerous area. After they were introduced, accidents dropped significantly, especially in high traffic locations. So no, those little brushes aren't there to clean your shoes. But did you know carrots also hide a curious story? When someone asks the color of a carrot, you answer orange without thinking twice. But that wasn't the original color. The first carrots were purple, white, or yellow. The orange version came later as an evolution of the yellow carrot. According to researchers, some varieties began growing slightly more orange. Farmers started selecting those, until the intense orange color we know today emerged. And it was in the Netherlands where this really took hold. At the time, the country was ruled by William IV of Orange-Nassau, leader of the independence movement and founder of the House of Orange. There's no definitive proof, but some believe that out of nationalism, farmers favored that color even more. On the other hand, there's a far less poetic explanation. Orange carrots were sweeter, tasted better, and their pigment didn't fade during cooking. Maybe it wasn't politics, maybe it was just flavor, or maybe a bit of both. Another thing you probably don't know is the purpose of those little hairs on tires. Whenever you look at those little hairs on a new tire, you probably think they're there for better grip, right? But that's a myth. Those strands are simply leftovers from the manufacturing process. During molding, rubber is pressed into the mold while air escapes through tiny invisible channels. When that happens, a small amount of rubber leaks out as well. Those hairs are just that hardened excess. They serve no function once the tire is finished, and don't affect grip or performance. With use, they simply disappear. And here's the most curious part, some tires don't even have them, depending on the type of mold used at the factory. And speaking of incredible secrets, in the video next to this one, I talk about people with abilities that look like real-life superpowers. But before that, out of all these everyday things, which one surprised you the most?